All right. Well, hey team, it's Dee Corchin. I am here with you on Monday night. It's our weekly team time at 7:28, and it is February 28th, 2022. So wrapping up another great month. You guys, I don't know what you're doing out there this afternoon, but man, I am really impressed with you guys really reaching out and helping a lot of people this month. Just to touch on that for a moment, I've had lots of conversations with coaches about the month of February and maybe, what's happening in their business. And it's been a really, really interesting month, but it just in general, and I really don't like using generalizations because there's always exceptions to the rule. But I had never noticed this, but somebody showed me before that sometimes in February, like there can be a trend that there's a slight dip from January. And that slight dip can be attributed to the shorter month and the fact that we move so many orders that would typically be going on at the end of the month, that they're for February 28th, that a lot of clients can push their orders into March. So you may or may not have experienced that. I think anytime you look at your business, it's always a snapshot. It's just a snapshot. It kind of tells you what actions and your mindset, what they have been for the past couple of months. And it also just tells you what do we need to do next. Right. But also historically, March tends to be one of the biggest months. Usually March and October are the absolute gangbuster months. So depending on how long you've been coaching, you may or may not have noticed that. But a lot of people, they start the first of the year, they think they got it on their own. And then they're struggling. And they realize they need our help, our program. They're looking ahead to spring break and summer. So this is our time to be active and out and sharing. But there's always exceptions. We have like so many people that have ranked up this month. So many people, we've had coaches hit new records with their volume. So you just never know. I just encourage you to stay positive, work with your coach, and just realize we are a cyclical business. And as much as we would love for everything to be a straight arrow up all the time, just going to dip sometimes. So that being said, super excited. Put a 1 in the chat if you are registered for National Convention. So National Convention happens in July. Want to see who is registered. Let's start blowing it up there. Convention's always been a really big deal and a really big deal for our team. It's a great opportunity to see what's available through Optavia, also for us to connect as a group. So I'm loving this. So you guys have taken advantage of the early bird special. And I just wanted to remind you that the early bird special ends tonight. On February 28th. It doesn't mean you can't still register, but it's going to go up $50 to $199. So if you're on the fence, I say make that commitment. Go ahead, register, attend. If anybody wants to put any comments in there about if somebody was on the fence, what would be your best advice, drop that in there because it's a big deal. But we get to do a drawing tonight, you guys, for one convention ticket. It'll be a reimbursement of a ticket at the early bird rate. And this drawing is for who remembers that back at the beginning of the month, we did, or it was actually the last meeting in January, we did a challenge. We talked about hosting our own events and what could that look like and what would the power of that be. And you guys, okay. We held as a team 13 events, 13 separate events were held around the country. And we have 2 on the calendar, like they're coming up just in the next 2 weeks. So they are included. And within that, we had 33 coaches participate. So some people did it on their own, some collaborated. So congratulations to all of you that stepped out. I get it, that's out of your comfort zone. So we're going to reward one person. All of your names are in here. They're all folded. I can't see them, but who wants to win this? Wouldn't this be fun? All right. So here we go, guys. I'm not going to look. I'm going to pull a name out. Our winner is Vicky Meister is our winner of a reimbursement of the early bird ticket. So yay, Vicky. Vicky is actually hosting an event at her house on April 1st in partnership with other coaches. She's new to the Charlotte area, but she was like, I'm diving in. So awesome. All right. Tonight, I want to go ahead and get right into this. Tonight, we're going to talk about celebrating our providing great client support, and specifically our mindset and our posturing of the tools that we have, and some language and some wording we can give you to direct our clients to the tools, because our real role is to, as a coach, is to empower and to guide. our clients. Put a 2 in the chat if you'd like to see your clients more involved in Eat, Live, and Be Healthy. The ability to answer more questions on their own, showing up on the Tuesday night community call, in their life book, right? All of those things we want, stepping into coaching. So we're going to give you some guidance around that. I see some 222s, but I do want to let you know that we're not going to talk about the life book tonight, other than just a snippet that one person's going to share. Next week's team time is an entire 30 minutes dedicated to how to utilize the life book. Okay, so we thought that got its own special deal. So we are going to kick off. Last week you heard from Elaine Yasserson. She is a new executive director, has really been crushing it. But one thing I've noticed that Elaine does all her clients, she brings them to tips calls, she follows the process methodically, but everybody she brings has already lost weight before they started the program. They're already into their life book, and they're involved in Eat, Live, and Be Healthy. So I just wanted you to hear, because she's doing some very unique things that I think are very, very powerful. So Elaine, you want to come on for a couple of minutes?
There we go. Am I off mute? I've got the hat on today. I'm in brutal wear today. I've had a rough day at work, so it's like I got to put a hat on this thing. Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be back again. And you know, my whole process kind of changed last year when we had all those shipping issues. You know, it was one of those challenging times. I had some people waiting 3 weeks, you know, for their stuff, and it was hard to have me to keep them engaged. So I really kind of had to think about some ways that I could keep them engaged while they're waiting. And I basically have just kept that going. And it's really, really worked. It's helped everybody just right away get excited. You know, I know when I talk to people on the phone and I'm starting to set up their kit and getting their order going, I've already told them that this is like nothing else that they're going to experience. This is not just a losing weight thing. This is a whole community. You know, I've already sold all that stuff. So when, you know, they're done ordering, it's not like I don't talk to them until they get their kit. No, I am engaging them the entire way. So I have kind of a little process that I think has worked really well for me. I've had a lot of success with my clients starting right away. And like Dee said, you know, they get involved in the group right away, everything. So I wanted to just kind of go over my ideas and my thoughts about what I do. I did start like 8 on that at the beginning of the year with that whole, you know, incentive program. And so I kind of got it down a little bit better. I do not have anything printed out, so I apologize for that, but I will put something together. I basically live off my phone. I use notes and I have all the stuff right on there and I just copy paste right into text. So basically what I do is, you know, when I'm first on the phone and I'm setting up their order, you know, I'm talking them through, okay, this is what's going to happen after their order's done. I'm like, hey, we're ready. Congratulations. We're doing this. Let's get going. I'm going to tell you, I will send you quite a few things the next couple days over text, or, you know, if some of them are more comfortable with Messenger, I'll do that. I'll send them some stuff and I'll say it's going to include a 1,200 calorie plan. It's going to include a link for your life book. I'm going to have some videos. I might send them one of my fun lean and greens, and that kind of gets them excited with, you know, whether they're having some family issues or just trying to see how easy it is to make those lean and greens. So I'll send them a couple of those and I say, you know, your first goal, water. Today, tonight, right after we hang up, I want you to go drink a glass of water. And then tomorrow, I want you to try to get 64 ounces in. So that's always my tip number 1 for them before I even hang up. And I also make sure that they friend request me if they are not a friend, and I set them in the group right then. Then as soon as we get off the phone, that is where I'm kind of doing like a pseudo text campaign stuff. And I will, again, I'll put it all together a little bit more organized because I've changed some things. But I do that very first, you know, welcome video by Dr. A. I think that is awesome because it shows that we're professional. You know, they see a video and it's like, wow, this is really a thing. This is really a program. So you send them that. And then I also make sure that they fill out that survey on thehabitsofhealth.com. And then I kind of ask them their questions. When they send it back to me, I say, you know, what do you think? Did you think that was accurate? So that's all that first day. The second day, I do go ahead and send them just a little short start list, because a lot of them kind of get excited and want to, what kind of things do I need? What do I have to think about? And that includes things like the scale, the food scale, that kind of stuff. Some little, egg whites, just it's a little short list. And it also includes the 1200 calorie plan. Now, this 1200 calorie plan is right from the Life Book. Or right from the Habits of Health. It is page 276, right in your book. That is all I did. I just typed it right out, and I send just that little screenshot basically. And that gets them thinking about eating 6 times a day. It also starts to kind of get them on a detox mode. It gets them off the sugars right away. And that has been huge. Why? There's some people that start off before, they're already eating all this sugar, all this other stuff, and they're going right into the 5 and 1. It's like diving off a high dive, cannonball right off the top. And I always had trouble with people those first couple days, just immediately, can't do this, this way, when you do this 1200 calorie thing, it's so much easier because they're not struggling as much with all of that detox stuff. So I've really found that is super, super helpful for me. Then the very next day, so I'm only on like day 3, right? I'm sending them from the campaign. It looks like I've got to cruise through some stuff here because I'm cruising by here on the time. But I send them that habitsofhealth.com with the resources, and I specifically send the link to the Life Book. And I tell them to download those first 2 elements of the Life Book and start reading it. Even before they get their book, they can kind of dive right into that. So that's big. I also, the next day, I send the link tree, and I know that Meg's going to talk a little bit about that. And that has been huge for me. Thank you, Meg, for keeping that up, because I love that thing. I live off of it, and my clients absolutely love it. So I always send that to them. Let's see, tracking next, get a schedule. Then the next day, I'll send something that basically says, hey, I saw you have a tracking number. And when I know that their stuff is coming, I schedule their kickoff call. I say, when do you think you're going to start? If you get your kit on Thursday, and let's schedule that call. And that gets it all set up. We're ready to go. Those first 4 days, I know I've only got about a minute, so I'm cruising here. Those first 4 days, I am pretty much following that old fashioned, text campaign of, day 1, this is what we're doing. Day 2, I send all those things. I've got it again, just on my phone. And I do suggest, this is just one other thing that I've really found helpful, 1 or 2 bars a day, 1 non-soy for their fuelings. I always suggest that, because I don't know how many times I've had people that go right into all the bars and everything right away. They're having stomach issues, and I'm dealing with that right off the bat. And I find if I tell them or suggest to them that 1 bar, the non-soy, it really alleviates a lot of the stomach issues right up on the front end. So those are my quick tips, because I know we got to get through some other stuff, but I do like the Powerade and some of those other things, but I use the coaches for our coach page a lot of times, anytime there's some stomach issues or anything at the very beginning. So I know I had to fly through the end of there, but I will get you all of that stuff. That process has worked out really great for me.
All right. Thank you, Elaine. There were a couple of questions in the chat. I think we might have addressed them, but maybe when you get a minute, take a look at them. Did want to let you guys know, if you want to use the reaction key down at the bottom, if you want to raise your hand along the way, we're going to try to do a little more along the way when we can. A couple questions, interact a bit more. All right. Because this is really your time. I think the biggest point that Elaine is making is what she's doing. And this is powerful, you guys, is engaging our clients in the tools and the process before the program arrives. So we want to get away from the mindset that we're waiting for this box to show up and that we're waiting just for food to show up. Because in fact, just think about our thinking and posturing around that is like, we're almost thinking, well, you can't start until you have the food. And our program is so much more than that. One other tip I'd like to give around that, I was going to do it at the end, but I want to make sure we don't miss it, is Two things I suggest is I would suggest that you ask your client to introduce themselves in the group besides you saying, hey, let me welcome Jamie. If you say, Jamie, hey, you know what our culture is, most people introduce themselves. Go ahead and jump in, look around, just introduce yourself, ask for some tips. The more you do that and posture it as normal, and the more they see it as normal, that will be the culture. All right. And we were doing great with that for a while. We kind of slipped back to more coaches introducing. I just think it will be more powerful when a client is doing it. If they have a win along the way, right, in their journey, asking them, hey, why don't you go in? You did great with that using the restaurant guide. Why don't you share that with the group? So that would be my tip around that. Also around the Tuesday night call, which, guys, put a 3 in the comment if you're not loving this new Tuesday night call. Tomorrow's going to be great on the topic of sugar. But if let's say you signed up a client today, the Tuesday night call is tomorrow. You could text them that link, text them the image, and tell them like, hey, invite them. This is happening tonight. I would love for you to be on. This is one of your resources. Hop on. We have this window of time that they are so excited. They've made the commitment, right? And what we want to do is best we can do is get them involved in those tools. Let's say it's Wednesday and there's not going to be a call until next Tuesday. We could send them a recording and say, here's one of the calls. This call was last night. It was fabulous. Okay, that's all I got. Let's take it to Meg Johnson, who created this incredible link tree for us.
Hello, everybody. Excited to spend a few minutes with you tonight. And I have to say, the Linktree idea was not mine. It was somebody else in the organization, but I kind of just took it and ran with it and wanted to offer it to everybody. So what I would love to know is put in the chat the emotions you had before you got started on plan. Type in the emotions that you had. I can't wait to see some of these. Tired. Ooh, that was a good one. Nervous. Cautiously optimistic. I identify with that. Excited, scared, anxious, hopeless, curious. I hear from a lot of clients that they feel overwhelmed, right? They're overwhelmed by the information. And there's so many resources in so many different places, which is one of the reasons why this Linktree is such a powerful tool for you to utilize with your clients. So the reason why, really the purpose behind this Linktree, and if you haven't seen it, we'll put the link in the chat, but it is basically a one-stop shop for everything your client is going to need to be successful and to thrive in their health journey. There's a link to our Eat, Live, and Be Healthy page, the Lean and Green lifestyle, there are recipes, there's guides, there's a video for how to get started. So our goal in creating this is to take the onus off of you as the coach and make it simple and to really empower your clients to find the answer. So put a 411, if you see what I'm doing there, in the chat if you would like to not be the walking encyclopedia of Optavia. Because I don't know about you, but I am not a good walking encyclopedia of Optavia, and I want to empower my clients to learn how to find their own answers. And so that is what we do when we utilize the Linktree. And I'll show it to you in just a second, but here's an example. Just got this text from a client. Meg, how much mustard can I have? True story, I don't know. I've been coaching almost 5 years. I don't eat mustard. I really don't know. So I said, oh, great question. I actually don't know off the top of my head. True story. Why don't you look at the cheat sheet in your Linktree and tell me what you find out? Perfect. I don't need to know how much mustard they can have. They need to know. And next time, they're not going to ask me. They're going to know where to look. Same thing can happen with a text I got the other day. Meg, what can I order at Chick-fil-A? Great question. There's a list of several options in the dining out guide located in your Linktree. Let me know what you're excited to eat, right? We don't need to feed them what they're going to choose, right? We want to empower them, because my goal with my clients is I want to work myself out of a job, right? I want to do such a good job of empowering them that they know they don't need me to be successful. They can do this on their own. They can find their own answers when they get down the road. So want to do some screen sharing real quick to just show you this great resource so you can take a peek at it. So this is what it looks like. I'll put in the chat when I'm done the link for a video for how to save it to your iPhone. So it looks like an app. If you've got a Droid, say bookmark it as a website. But we also created a new video for you. It's 11 minutes in length, but it's basically everything you would need to tell a client before they got started on plan. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it. But it talks through what a lean, leaner, and leanest is, how to put together your vegetables, and makes it really simple. So it is cut down dramatically on the time I'm spending launching clients, which I am so grateful for. This is a link to the different client community calls that we have. Here's a bunch of different recipes for their lean and green. Sandy's Kitchen is my personal favorite, but all different ones are on here. And then of course the guides. The Optavia 5-in-1 Plan Guide is the spiral bound book that comes in their order. The Lean and Green Guide, a couple of pages from that. The Dining Out Guide, this is really helpful. And then the cheat sheet, which we are working to revise right now, but it's 14 pages of just about anything you're going to put in your mouth and how to count it on the 5-in-1 plan. And as you go down, there's information about transition. Here's the transition guide somebody recently posted in Coaches Up for Change. And all of our past community call recordings can be found all in one place right here. So for any of your clients that have missed them, or maybe new clients, they can always go back and take a peek. I'm just curious if there have been any questions since we've been starting to talk about the link tree. So I'm going to pause. Dee, were there some questions in the chat?
I don't see specifically. Do you want to maybe share? Somebody said you can save the link tree on your home screen. What is the best way to send this to our client and then describe to them like how to save it?
Yeah. So what I always do is write on the, well, okay. So I ask the client, when do you want to get started? And they'll say Monday. And best practice is I encourage all my new clients to get started on Monday, because that's simplifies everything. So before I talk to them, I'll say, great, excited to support you. Can you watch this video before we chat? And then I send them the YouTube video from the welcome, from the link tree, the top thing. You can click share and it gives you the link. And then they respond back and they say done. And then when I'm on that call, because they're getting all kinds of information, right? Remember how you felt overwhelmed. There's so much going on. So I wait to send the link tree until I'm on the phone with them. And I'll actually walk them through how to save it on the home screen, because it takes me like 90 seconds to do that. And that's a good value add. And then I kind of show them how to use it. So I'm no longer sharing with them how to put their lean and green together. I'm just showing them this new tool and how to utilize it. And it has brought my launch calls from 20 minutes down to about 5, which I am loving. And our clients are still having great results. And Carol said, just started a client on the 4-in-2 plan. Are you going to do one for that plan too? No. So because the 4-2-in-1 plan is not a fat burning plan and there's lots of confusion, if I ever have clients on the 4-in-2, I'll say it's everything in the 5-in-1 applies to you. Just take away a fueling and add an extra lean and green. So for simplification, we're going to just try to streamline it as much as possible, but that's a great question, Carol. Any other questions that anybody has about how to utilize the link tree? No? Okay, great. And as y'all keep posting things in Coaches Up for Change, as things get updated, we'll be sure to update that link tree. But I'm glad that y'all love it as much as we do. So thanks so much for letting me share tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Meg. Thank you again. I hope you see all the positive feedback of the rave reviews of it. If this was new information for you about the link tree, I just spoke with a coach not long ago and it was brand new. If this was new for you, just say, hey, this is new for me, like put that in the chat so we know. We really try to do our best to get communication filtered down, but I hope you heard Meg. Meg said, I want to put myself out of a job. Right. And so what we want to do is we're looking to empower our clients, be able to point them to the tool so that you don't have to be the hero, always be on call for the answers. But it also helps when you're posturing about coaching, right? When they think they have to know it all, you're like, are you kidding me? Don't you remember every question you asked me? Mustard, I sent you to the the 411. So, so that's what we're doing, is immediately empowering them and redirecting back to where they can find their info. And that video is great. So the next thing is that when they're doing a weigh-in, so we're going to talk just a little bit about weekly support and whatever, but really the power of drawing our clients in and having them share their journey publicly. And this is something that is becoming very, very common within Optavia based on the way we as coaches posture it. So we're going to spend this last 5 minutes with Debbie going over some tips around that, some ways that we can encourage and support it so that we make it our new norm.
Okie dokie. Okay, so I know I've got my timer going. Okay, so this is something that I've been using lately, and it's been going so well. And I learned how to do this based on a video I saw on the Dan Valentine Maximize Bootcamp thing. So this is kind of a Cliff Notes version of that, but it's worked so well. So I can't wait to share it with you guys. And I've been coaching for a really long time, and it's a new skill I just figured out. Well, learned. So basically, have your client, when they're having success, like in that first week or the second week, or just when they're like on fire, do either a color back text-based post, or maybe a before and after kind of picture of them, just basically with them saying, I am so excited, I can't believe that I'm already down, X pounds in Y days, right? So they're like, this is what I've done so far. And, gosh, thank you so much. And then have them tag you. And then just thank you for introducing me to this program. It's so easy. It feels so good. I'm so excited. It's working for my busy life, whatever's true for them. Everybody's got a different truth. And that's it. And have them tag you on the post. And then there's a systematic way to work it. So daily, go in and touch this post. There are going to be people who ask questions. What are you doing? What's it called? What does it cost? Where, how did you know about it? Da, da, da. So to those questions, have the client reply to those people with, hey, you know what? My coach is going to be a better person to talk to you, because that person will have the information, and have them tag you in their response. So that's the way to handle questions. Everything else is going to be people saying, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you, Bill, and way to go, Bob, and we're rooting for you, Janet, so when people do that, that's going to be the majority of those comments. You just want to comment and bump, and just kind of, you go in yourself and say, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You're just rocking this thing, you're awesome. And put a post of your own, or a comment of your own in that post. And again, this is something that you're going to do over a course of days. You don't have to do everything all at one time. But go into people who have offered the congratulations and send them a private message saying, you know what, my name is Debbie, and I am so-and-so's coach, and I just wanted to thank you so much for encouraging my client, because that's so cool to have this support around him. He's doing awesome, and I'm just so proud of him. Hey, you know what, have a good day, or stay warm. What are you doing for the weekend? Just whatever fits, but some kind of like dismiss. Sometimes people will be like, well, what is it? And some people will just be like, yeah, happy to support my friend. It doesn't have to be something that instantly brings you a new client. Some of it's just starting the dripping of the watering the fields, right? That's on comments. On likes, each person who likes it or loves it or whatever, send that person a private message saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the support for my friend. Thank you for taking time out of your day to give my friend, my client support. He's doing awesome. I'm so proud of him. And again, just thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, enjoy the weather, stay warm, whatever. And again, some of those are going to turn into conversations where they're asking for details, and some of them will just be like, yeah, happy to support my friend. Again, it's just the beginning of the conversation. Then in that thread, you can throw in your own transformation, be like, hey, you know what, here's how I experienced this program, kind of brag on the program. This is an amazing thing. I'm so excited that I found it too. You can go in there, do that. As that thread slows down, maybe throw in a different transformation story, and just be like, here's another example of somebody having great success. This is Janet, and look what she's done, and just something like that, kind of like we do our other transformation stories. the cool thing is when your client makes this post and tags you on it, it's going to show up on your wall. So you have not only that person's people seeing it, but all your people are seeing it. So it's a really powerful thing when they are making the post. So there are clients who are shy about that, and there are some who aren't. But what I have started doing is telling my client, hey, you know what? If you'll post this, and I'll even write the wording for you or kind of give you a rough draft of what to say. I'll put $25 on your account for doing that, because I want to encourage you to do this for your own accountability. And that is gonna, I'm running out of time. Okay, so anyway, the last thing is, when people decide to come on, just go back to that client and say, you know what, so-and-so was coming on program because of you and your influence. Do you want to coach them? Are you sure you aren't ready to start coaching yet? Because I can totally work you through that. And otherwise, I'll be happy to give you this, credit. But Optavia is going to pay you even more than I will. And so just kind of dripping all the way. And that's it.
Thank you, Debbie.
Under 8
I told you we have so many different topics tonight. So that was pure gold. I'm going to challenge, I'm going to take just 2 minutes because I want to talk about a couple of important things. I want you to do a self-check right at this moment, based on what Debbie just said. And in your mind, have you said to yourself a story like, I can't wait to start asking my clients to do this. Like, this is going to be great. They're going to do it. Or did your mind go to, my clients aren't going to want to do this? You don't have to say it publicly, but I just really want to question you on where did your mind go with that? Because so much of what happens with our clients and our success is our expectation and our projection. So if we're projecting like, hey, you want to maybe public this down, put this, they're not going to do it, right? But if we're like, you know what, everything we do, we want to share because it is in their best interest. The more a client plugs in, right, and shares their journey, the more they get involved in a call, and more they get involved in the group, if they step into coaching, it is 100% in their interest, right? We're not looking for anything from them. We are fighting for them. And these are the things that we're doing for them in their best interest. So you're going to have to practice with it, challenge yourself on your thinking, because this is a shift. It's a shift first for us. But what we're looking to do is help our clients with micro shifts, little things, right? They're not going to jump into all 4 things and publicly, like they're probably not going to do it all. Some might, but we want to do little things and really show each thing about why it's their value. And it's, anything that's manageable for them. So I love Debbie's suggestion. Hey, I see you're stepping out of your comfort zone. I'll give you $25 wellness credit. If you do this, I think you're going to be blown away by what that support does for you. And the more somebody's emotionally connected into their own journey, the more successful they're going to be. So I hope, and I know that this had to be of value to you. We'll bring this conversation on into the Facebook group. I will include an image of some suggested wording for your client when they're going to go out to post. And I know we're going to share some other resources, but thank you for investing your time tonight. Hope you found great value. Thank you to Elaine, to Meg, and to Debbie for sharing. And if you haven't registered for convention, go sign up right now. Okay. And congratulations to Vicki for our drawing. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.